People of the internet. You're.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Looks like you're vibing. You're chilling right now.
I was finna get on Roblox.
Okay, so you're a Roblox player. My niece plays Roblox.
Really?
Got you. Yep. Interesting. How was your
That's
Monday?
really very interesting. I'm tired.
Okay.
Yes.
Up,
Oh, okay.
up.
Sorry.
Gotta go.
It's my roommate.
Oh, okay. It sounded. I thought that was like your mom.
Oh, no. I'm in college.
Okay, got you. What do you study in college?
Psychology.
Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I had the idea, like, man, if I was to finish school, I would want to be a psychology major. To be completely honest, I like the study of the mind. I like to understand how people think. What's one of the things that drew you to that major? Did you know anybody in there? What interests you about psychology?
I took AP Psych in high school, and
Nice,
ever since then I've been hooked on it. And
nice,
then I like learning about weird stuff. I would
interesting,
have did biology, but that's not my strongest suit.
interesting. Okay. I'm not a science or a math guy myself, so yeah. Sometimes you just
Yeah,
gotta know your
no.
strengths. You gotta know your weaknesses. 100%.
Exactly.
So, what do you want to focus
Exactly.
on with psychology? What do you want to do with it once you, I guess, graduate?
I want to be a psychiatrist.
Interesting. So you're interested
It's
in
scary.
what element of it is scary to you?
I'm gonna have to talk to crazy. I'm scared. I'm scared. But
Got you.
honestly, like I've seen it's videos in psychology,
Hmm.
and my teacher actually, she used to work in like I literally just had the biggest brain fart, so I have no idea what I was gonna say. But she works in like
Got you.
she used to work with she was a social worker. That's what I was
Hmm.
trying to think about. She
Hmm.
was a social worker, and she before she became not a professor, a teacher
Hmm.
in high school. She worked with all types of people, and she was a child psychologist.
Hmm.
I think that's what they're called.
Hmm.
I forgot.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's what I want
Interesting.
to do.
Interesting. All
And
right.
then I can figure out why somebody's acting a certain way towards me. Bipolar. Boom.
All right. Okay. So let me. So it's so interesting that you said that, right?
Uh huh.
So, funnily enough, that's kind of like my own philosophy as well too. I feel like if I was to study, go to school, whatever the case, or even just for leisure as well too, I would want to be a psychology major because I want to be able to learn why people do the things that they do,
Yeah.
why people act the way they act. Is it based off their upbringing? Is it really something that's psychologically just
Right.
wrong? Whatever the case is. And I feel like if we're in a world right now that's heavily dependent upon each other, in my personal opinion,
Mhm.
then it's probably good to know why people act and do the things that they do.
Exactly.
So if I went to school for that, then I can have a little bit of an advantage to be able to understand, like, all right, I'm not gonna go too hard on you
Exactly.
because I learned that you've been through some shit, whatever the case is, so I'm not gonna harp on you too hard, whatever the case is.
Yeah, I usually jump to people like if somebody's acting a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
I usually think like, okay, childhood trauma or like
Got
something to
you.
do with their childhood period,
Right,
because that's
right, right.
really where stuff
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sets in.
Let me ask you
But
this. Do you think psychology, learning, being able to take on that process, psychologists or people that are at least interested in it, do you think that helps with empathy?
mm, I mean, I'm already empathetic,
Nice.
but has it influenced it? Probably not. If I'm being completely
Interesting.
honest.
Interesting. And I only ask because it goes back to the point of now it's like kind of like that saying when they say if you know better, you do better, right? So it's like if I went to
Exactly.
school and I
Yeah.
now know, hey man, I can maybe be a little bit more empathetic to somebody because I now learned that this person may be dealing with X, Y, or Z, whatever the case is, I might be able to chill a little bit. I feel like psychology is something that we should all maybe study. So that way we can kind of be a
Right.
little bit more knowledgeable in terms of what people are going through in their lives and maybe a little bit more, sympathetic to
Right.
their circumstance.
They were trying to count it as a social studies
What do you think about
instead
that?
of a science. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, there's history behind psychology, but like, it should be a science, if anything. I feel like
I agree.
because we learn about the brain, you learn about the ear, you learn about behavior and cognitive behavior, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it should be counted as a social or not necessarily social science, but
Right.
I don't know. I think it should be counted as a science. Period.
Interesting. I agree. Let me ask you this, and just to kind of pick your brain a little bit. I won't hold you too long. I'll let you get back to your Roblox. Let me ask you this. What do you think is, let me ask you this. So in our society right now, in our culture, I have my kind of views on the world. I feel like it's going in decay. I think there's such thing as social and moral decay. What do you make of our culture right now? Tell me one thing that you hate about our society right now that just blows your nerves.
Oh, I have to think about that.
Interesting.
One thing about society that blows my nerves.
This could be anything that you see on social media, like, or anything that you see, like, man, that's not
Oh,
cool.
social media wise, like cancel culture, I guess.
Interesting.
Like some people, okay, like I don't really dwell into social media that much. Like I don't care about celebrities' lives, and that's all
Nice.
I see on social media.
Right.
But when people get canceled, it gets to a point. Like it really irks my nerves. I don't like it. It's just like, bro, that person effed up. Cool, whatever. Let them be. Like I
Interesting.
don't care. And
Interesting.
I don't want to see
Interesting.
it on my feed, like sending death threats to a person or like, spamming them with other stuff, uh, getting leaked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Interesting. Interesting. I agree. That's interesting. So you believe that people deserve second chances? Wait, what? Hold on. Hold on. By that
Okay,
theory,
wait.
right? By that theory, based on what you just said. All right,
I
okay. Let's
mean,
define cancel culture.
but
So,
wait,
go ahead, go ahead.
let me tell you. So I do believe people deserve second chances to an extent
Okay.
because let's say okay, personally I was cheated on.
Okay.
And I was thinking, I was like, do this person deserve a second chance? And I was like, because I don't believe you deserve a second chance. You do what you're doing. We're old enough to know what's right from wrong. Like, that's that. But if it's like, I don't know. I do believe people deserve second chances, though. Not
Got it.
just like completely, no, done, one and done. But
Right,
people
right,
make mistakes at the end of the day. We're not perfect. So that's
right.
how I feel about it. But I feel like it's to an extent.
Got you. So it's circumstantial. It depends on the
Yes.
severity of
Yes. Yes, because
depending
if
on
it's
the
cheating,
severe.
no.
Okay. Oh, so there's no coming back from cheating for you.
I can't
Interesting.
do it. Can't do
Interesting.
it.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, cool. So relationship dynamics. Let's talk about that real quick. All right, okay. So in relationships right now, and from my personal opinion, we have dynamics in our culture right now that I think have become the norm. So there's like side chick norm. There's
Uh-huh.
oh, if they get cheated on, what are the cases? I'm gonna turn a blind eye. What are the cases? Do you think
Mm-hmm.
in the long term or in the short term? Let's say long term. In the long term, as a society, do you think the implementation of side chicks and things of that nature is something that's going to be normalized? Do you think it's going to be just more common for it to be just understood that people are going to have both men and women can have side chicks? Interesting.
I
Interesting.
say this because it's already happening now. It's
Right.
getting normalized. People love playing the side chick role. People love to cheat. And in this generation, I'm done. I'm done finding love.
Got it.
I'm done trying to like somebody. But no, on a serious note,
Yeah.
I do think it's gonna be normalized. Like cheating is gonna be normalized. Like
Interesting.
I feel like it's gonna be like, oh, you have to go through cheating in a relationship. I really feel like it's gonna get to that point.
Interesting.
And it's like, no,
Interesting.
you don't have to go through that.
Right. Right. Right.
That's not counted as ups and downs. I don't care what y'all say. It's not counted as ups and downs.
All right, let me ask you this. All right, so to that theory, right? Okay, let's say, all right, the idea of monogamy, right? So just being exclusive to one person, one man, one woman, whatever the case is. Do you think now that if we're both saying, because I agree with you as well. I agree that cheating to the point where it's just not, it doesn't sting as much as it used to. Like, oh, girl, he cheated on me. Nowadays, you're
Yeah.
seeing a lot more women being okay with the idea of being cheated on. Or, hey, girl, I know that he's talking to somebody else, but I'm going to just stay with it in case this, that, and the other. What do you think that says about monogamy? Do you think that means that maybe humans just aren't supposed to be monogamous with other people? Or do you believe it's the other way around? Do you think it's really just that now we should be monogamous with other person, but this cheating just has to stop? It has to go. What do you think that means
Yeah.
about human nature?
Because, okay, I do believe that we're destined to be with one person for the rest of our lives.
Cool.
Because, personally, me, I could never, like, date two men at once.
Got you.
That's too much for me.
Got you.
But, hey, people might love open relationships, but personally, I think a monogamous, I mean, ooh, I just messed up that whole word. Let's just say we're
Monogamous
destined to be.
relationship. You said it right.
Let's
Monogamous
just say we're
relationship.
destined to be with one, because I cannot believe in that. Like that. Okay, that's back to me saying open relationships. Some people love to date other people while dating one person. Like they're all cool with it, and I don't know how, but
Interesting.
I do believe we're all destined to be with one.
Interesting.
And like marriage, what are you gonna? Well, okay, maybe that's a different topic. Never mind.
Nah, let's talk about marriage because I got my views on marriage as well too. Let's talk about marriage, man. All right, okay. I believe again, and of course we're having a very common there's no right or wrong answer is basically what I'm looking for. So basically everything you're saying, whether you agree, whether you disagree, whatever the case is, cool. My view of marriage right now, right? I'm at a point right now in my life where I'm not fully sold on the idea of marriage. I have seen marriages that work. I have seen marriages that have not worked. Of course, we know it's common knowledge that the divorce rate is typically about 50% of people who get divorced. Successful marriages is a 50% chance that for the long term, it'll actually be successful. Do you think the concept of marriage should be re-looked at? Should we maybe reorganize the rules or the expectations of what it means to be married? First of all, do you believe that we should be a marriage has to be incorporating the state and federal government into the marriage, whatever the case is? Do you think a marriage? What are your ideologies in terms of our traditional terms of marriage today?
I believe that anything like a paper, saying, "Oh, you're officially married" or something. I don't think like that's necessary unless, like, I mean, actually, it might matter if you change your last name. Personally, I'm not changing my last name. But because though my whole name it flows together, I can't. Because my whole name is French, so I can't change it. So
got
no.
it. Okay, cool.
Back to your question, I feel like when the government and stuff, all that comes in, no, we're married. That's it.
Got it. Okay, that's something that I kind of agree with as well too. So I believe, I'm not saying okay. I believe the traditional definition of marriage works well in two circumstances, or one or two circumstances. I think I'm all for marriage if we're talking about having children that we want to raise in a two-parent house, whatever the case is. I feel like marriage is a solid foundation or institution. Let's call it an institution. I feel like marriage is a solid institution to have if we're talking about, hey,
right.
I want to raise children under a two-parent household. Let's get married. I think that's perfect.
Right.
Even going back to what we were saying before in terms of, cheating and side chicks have, all been incorporated into the fold and it's almost being a little bit normalized. I think in order for us to see a lower state of divorce rates, this, that, and the other, I think people should, what I call, have their own terms, or whatever the case. Basically saying like, I'm not single, I'm not married, I'm in a mutual understanding. I think it's a mutual agreement. I think people should enter mutual agreements that does not involve the state, doesn't involve the government, whatever the case is. It should involve two of sound mind individuals who are agreeing to terms that they make for themselves, not terms based on society, not terms based on their family, their friends, whatever the case is. I think two knowledgeable adults can come to terms on their own, and that should be just as valuable as our traditional marriage. What do you think about that?
Exactly.
Interesting. Hey, this was cool, man. I appreciate talking to you, man. Are you on this app a lot?
Me too. Huh?
Are you on Monkey app a lot?
No, I'm really not. I don't know why I'm on here right now, to be honest.
Because you're bored and you're playing Roblox. That's why you're on
right. On my iPad.
You're right. Hey, you're a cool person, man. I really appreciate this conversation.
You too. Thank you.
Catch you later.
All right.
Hey, she was cool.